Hi, Jelly here with another nail polish video. Today I'm going over Orly's Plot Twist, which is their color pass for fall 2023. I did get these color pass from the annual subscription that my husband got for me for my birthday back in March. You can see that there are 7 polishes on screen. That's because the bonus was a 7th polish. 5 of the original polishes in the collection are creams, with the 6th one being more of a metallic shimmer. And then the bonus polish is from their breathable line. I really enjoyed this collection, and I think that it's perfect for fall this time of year with the colors, and I think that they would all work so well together. And for my manicures, I am using the Orly Bonner base coat, and let's go ahead and get started. First up, we have Hello Goodbye, which doesn't seem to be available on the Orly website right now. I would describe this as a light medium gray with a green shimmer in it. On my camera recording, I'm still trying to figure out my lighting. I found that it just really washed it out a little bit. It's definitely a little bit darker in person. I need to play around more with my lightings. That would help make my phone camera bring it out more accurately. But this one was such a pretty color. You can see just a little bit of that green shimmer coming in. Even in person, that green shimmer is a little bit more on the shy side, and I think that's because the base color is so opaque that it's eating up that green shimmer a little bit. I've personally found this one was perfect in 2 coats for me. The formula was really great to work with. I didn't think it was too runny. I don't really like the word runny. I prefer liquidy. I didn't think it was too liquidy. The formula was great, and it built up really nicely in those 2 coats, and it was just so pretty to wear. You can see a little bit of that green shimmer right there as I move my finger around, and in the shade it's a little bit more accurate what the color is in person, but there is 1, 2, and 3 coats. First up for the actual Plot Twist collection is Shaky Alibi, which the website describes as a chic mauve cream. I thought this one was a really pretty color. This one definitely is a great neutral on me and my skin tone. I know that my fingertips do tend to run a little bit more on the red side, so I thought it complemented it perfectly. The formula was also really nice as well. I think just because of how pigmented it was, that on application it might have been a little bit on the thicker side, but it did self-level very nicely, which is always a plus, since I personally find with more skin tone polishes that there tends to be a little bit of issues with leveling out and making sure that everything is sitting evenly, at least for me with my application, especially with like how close my skin comes up to my nails. I would personally wear this one in 2 coats, even though that first coat looks pretty opaque, just because I like the way how 2 coats feels. I also really enjoy the way it looks in 2 coats. I know it's a little hard to see in the video, but I did have a small bald spot on just the first coat, so I would wear this one in 2 coats, especially for my nail length. If you have longer nails or you weren't very careful with your application, you might end up needing to go in for that 3rd coat, but I think overall that 3rd coat is not necessary. As you can see, it doesn't really do anything to deepen the color, make any changes to it. So unless you absolutely need the 3rd coat, I don't think you're going to need it for this polish. And there are 1, 2, and 3 coats. Next up, we have Active Folly, which is described as a unique mossy cream with just a touch of green. I would definitely say that this one is a little bit more yellow leaning. I know my phone camera on the recording washed it out quite a bit, and I have no idea how to go and fix it since I just used iMovie right now. I know there's not really a good way to go and edit colors, but that's just me. If you know any way for any suggestions, I will gladly take them in the comments below. But this one is definitely really cute. A lot of people refer to this as a sister shade to Elysium Fields, and I can definitely see this. This one is a much lighter color than Elysium Fields, so if you're looking for something in the vein, but you don't like that dark of a color, this is definitely going to be the one for you. I would say this one was beautiful coverage in one coat, super easy to work with, self-leveled really nicely, like even you can see in just that little clip how nice it was already starting to self-level. I would rather this still in 2 coats just because I feel that gives the best payoff and it can cover up any mistakes you might have had on that first coat. 3 coats is most likely not needed unless you really like the feel of 3 coats, or you have really long nails, or you bump something up and you need to cover up any flaws, but there are 1, 2, and 3 coats. Next up is Don't Be Suspicious, and if you didn't start hearing that song playing in your head, then you have not been on the internet long enough. Good for you. So this polish is described as a rich chocolate cream, and I totally agree with that. This is such a beautiful color. On the bottle swatch, it's not a great color. What you're seeing on my nail and what you'll see on the photo in the end is much more color accurate to what it looks like in person in real life. This one was also such a great formula on it. Like you could see, it's almost fully opaque within that first coat, but I do need to go back in for that second coat in order for it to reach full opacity. If you are looking for something similar like this, or to see if you have something similar, I know Polish with Ray did a comparison, and KB Shimmer's What the Fudge is almost the exact same shade as this one. Like, there's very, very little difference in the polish itself. As you can see, when I put on that second coat, it covered up any imperfections, leveled out super nicely, super even, looks so beautiful. And then, so I would definitely recommend this one for 2 coats, definitely worth it. I think this one's going to look super pretty with like a gold or a red shimmer topper as well too, or a flaky topper. I feel like that would look so pretty. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I just feel like that would look so pretty, just like the browns, reds, and yellows. I think that would make, that would just make like a perfect like cooking wood, campfire, s'mores manicure. But anyways, there's 1, 2, and 3 coats. Next up is in the Conservatory, which is described as a dusty brick red. I don't think I would personally classify this as a dusty brick red. I know in my swatches it's leaning a little brighter and a little more orange than it is in person, but it's not quite a brick red either. When I think of brick red, I think of like the Crayola Creme brick red, because that's the color that I see as brick red. When I see red bricks, they are usually more of the Crayola Creme color brick red. Not to say that this is not still a pretty shade. I feel like this will be flattering on almost anyone. That's just me though. It's really nice and medium, not too bright, but also not too dark. Perfect for those that have a more conservative color palette where they prefer only like reds, pinks, and corals, and some oranges. Where when they want to wear something that's a little bit darker and more fun for the season, but they still want to feel confident in what they are wearing. And there's 1, 2, and 3 coats. Next up is Unraveling Story, and oh my goodness, is my phone really, really whitewashing this polish out. I tried to fix it, but it turned out so bad. What you are seeing right now on the nail is a lot more color accurate to what it is in the bottle. It's still a little bit darker than that. I really need to go and play around with my lighting more, especially for these darker colors. But this one is described as a mysterious rich gray, and that is a perfect description for it. I also really loved the coverage that I got within that first coat. I felt like it covered completely and it makes such a nice color. I think any gray polish with any topper looks so beautiful, because then, especially with like more iridescent toppers, more unicorn skin like, when they have one color when they're dark but then different color when they're lighter, you can then get the best of both worlds, while you still mostly get the dark shade, but then you can still easily get the lighter color on top as well, which is super nice. This one is also perfect in 2 coats. You could probably get away with 1 coat if you have a thick enough layer and with careful application, but I recommend wearing that 2 coats. And finally for today, we have Endless Night, which the website describes it as a carbon blue shimmer. So I do see the blue in it. I do think a better way to describe it is that this is the shimmer version of the Unraveling story that we just saw. I find that they are very similar in colors. I, though, really loved this one. This has more of that metallic shimmer finish, which, as you can see on that first coat, will leave some brush strokiness. So make sure you are being super careful on your application for this one if you wear it and you don't want your brush strokes to be obvious. I do think that wearing a nice top coat will also help manage some of the brushiness with it. You can definitely see that, especially on that first coat, now that it's for sure dried down nice and well, that it is still super brush strokey. So I would recommend capping your nails first. What I like to do is just use the back side of the brush that has the less polish to cap, and then I paint my nails as normally, just so you can prevent those lines as well. I find 2 coats is perfect for this polish, though you might need that 3rd coat if you are not careful on your brush strokes and you are not happy with how it looks, but there is 1, 2, and 3 coats. And here is the entire Plot Twist collection together, as well as the bonus polish Aloe Goodbye. What did you think of this? I really love the color story of this. I just think it's perfect for this fall weather. I have been getting more into creams, which is really good because then it gives me a chance to build up my cream collection. I feel like there is something in this collection for everyone. Let me know in the comments below what you thought your favorite polish was. I really am interested in hearing. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss when I do have time to post these videos. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!